God gave you an imagination for a reason, okay? If you have an idea, it's because you're supposed to act on it. You don't have these dreams just because of some random event or because your brain is weird, okay? You are consciously designed by the universe, okay? And that's either a fact because you believe in God, or it's a fact because of evolution, okay? Even if you are a complete atheist, you would have to recognize that in nature, nothing goes wasted, okay? If a feature on an animal doesn't benefit the animal, then it won't, stay in the gene pool. It's gonna get wiped out, okay? Anything that doesn't have a purpose gets removed. There is no mistakes in nature. And that is true even if you believe in evolution or if you believe in God and conscious creation, okay? So, I'm telling you, you have a brain, okay? And you were given this wonderful brain, either by God or by nature, depending on what you prefer. And it can think of stuff, okay? And it can dream. And it can imagine all kinds of things, okay? And you have this imagination for a reason. You are not supposed to have all these dreams and then just work your shitty job you don't like and be bothered that you are not living your dreams, okay? If you dream of something, then go and fucking do it. And if you can't do it, then figure out how to grow the balls. Because life is too short to just not do what you feel like, okay? We have this notion in the modern world, and perhaps also just like in history in general, that we need to be modest and we need to be realistic, and that living in your little fantasy world is for children, or that it's childish to dream, right? That you gotta wake up and get real and suck it up and work your factory job till the day you die, because that's just how the world works. Which is fucking silly, obviously. Not that there aren't practicalities to take care of, but my point is that if you have dreams, you have them for a reason, okay? Either you were given them by God or by nature, and you should follow them. And if you didn't need them, and if they weren't useful, and if they didn't have a purpose, they would not be here, okay? You need to stop disvalidating your own dreams, okay? You need to cut off from the part of yourself and from the part of society that wants to keep you down, that wants to keep you playing small, that wants to keep you realistic, that wants to keep you grounded, okay? Because our society is so critical of anyone who dares to dream of anything at all. We say that people have their heads in the clouds, or that they're a bunch of hippies for talking about something like love or taking care of nature. We are incredibly averse to any notion of spirituality or higher self or, well, just dreams and imagination. We literally call imagining things and fantasies for childish things, right? We don't give them credit. We talk about them as if they only exist in our heads. When in reality, anything, and I mean anything at all, that has ever been created started in here, okay? Imagine when fucking Steve Jobs was like, hey, what if we made this magical little rectangle that could work as a computer and it could connect everyone in the entire world and do all these fancy things, okay? People probably thought he was crazy. And yet here I am, sitting with not an iPhone, but a smartphone nonetheless, that wouldn't have existed if he didn't invent the first smartphone. When the Wright brothers invented the airplane, science had literally declared that flight was impossible for humans because we were too heavy, and that we were never gonna invent airplanes at all. Science had literally declared that it was physically impossible for humans to fly. And 2 fucking years later, they make the first airplane. So, I mean, my point is, think of how many fucking things in our modern world. If you went back just 50 or 100 years and you told people about these things, they would think you were fucking crazy. If you go back 200 years and you tell a peasant that in 200 years, every single man on the planet pretty much is gonna own a car, and a car is this weird box of metal and rubber that has like 4 wheels and it can spin by itself, then they're gonna think you're fucking crazy, okay? If you go back in time and you tell our ancestors that one day people are gonna have these magical metal rectangles and they can send out these fucking waves to each other, and then they can connect and you can talk to someone on the other end of the planet, or that you can go online and literally Google anything you would ever want and have any information you would ever imagine, then they would think that was witchery, or that this was given to us by the gods, okay? Like, imagine going to a Viking and you give him this magical little box and you tell him that any question he has ever had, he can just ask the box, okay? He would think that was Odin giving him wisdom and guidance through the box, okay? He would think that was magic. And yet here we are, and we are just scrolling TikTok. Or fucking playing Candy Crush or whatever. My point is, no matter how fucking crazy your dreams and your imagination are, there is definitely things existing in your reality that are fundamentally even more goddamn crazy. Maybe you dream of becoming an artist, or making YouTube, or inventing some kind of new technology. But believe me, whatever you think of, whatever you dream of, it is not more crazy than the dreams that have already come true, okay? And you need to give credit to your dreams. You have them for a reason. They aren't meant to just sit in here and not be used, okay? They aren't meant to just lay in the warehouse. They gotta come out, and you gotta give them to the world. First of all, because you owe that to yourself, okay? It would be a damn shame if you just lived your entire life with unlived dreams, okay? But you also owe it to the world. You have a gift inside you, okay? And if the world doesn't get that gift, that's a goddamn shame too. So you owe it, both to yourself and to the world around you, to become the best version of yourself. And to embrace your dreams, to give them validation, to give them credit, to realize that there is a reason you have them, and that's because you are meant to chase them. So many people live on the idea that they aren't special, or that they don't have the power to do it, or that they should just be normal and do what everybody else does, okay? And that's how you end up miserable. That's how you end up on your deathbed, wishing that you had done something else. And honestly, if you just play along and do as everybody else does, when you have dreams, when you are not meant to do what everybody else does, when you then end up one day being depressed and miserable because you gave in to the lie, then that's on you, okay? You can't blame society for telling you not to do it and then trusting that they are right. Because when you listen to their words and you believe in those words, it's you giving them power. When Adam was thrown out of the Garden of Eden, he told God, I just did what Eve did, okay? And when Eve was thrown out, he said, I just did what the snake did and what the snake told me. I just did what everybody else did. I just listened to them, okay? But that's not how it works. If you let people tell you something, and you believe it, and you act in accordance with that belief, then it's on you. If you waste this life not doing what you were meant to do, not doing what you were born to do and what you truly wanted to do because you believed in lies, then that's your fault. So please do not make that mistake. That's all.